Hey, today I'm going to talk with you about 4 different ways that you can get your trademarks registered. Ready? Let's do this. Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jim Hart. I'm a trademark and online business lawyer, and I help brands across the country, both individuals and corporations, get their trademarks registered. And what I want to talk to you about today is the 4 different ways that you can go about getting your trademark registered. Now, I will tell you, I'm going off the cuff. I don't have any notes today. This is totally old school, so we'll see how it goes. Now, I've done a ton of videos about why getting a trademark is really important and the things that can happen to you if you don't get your trademark registered. And so I'm not going to go into all of that today. Suffice it to say, getting a trademark is a good thing for your business, and if you don't do it, lots of bad things can happen. I guess I'll just leave it at that. I actually got a comment on one of my videos recently that somebody mentioned that they thought trademarking was just a matter of filing an application with the trademark office and then in a couple weeks you get your trademark. That's not actually the way it works. Right now it's taking about 8 to 9 months to have the trademark office even look at your trademark application, let alone approve it. And even then, there's a 50 to 60% chance that the examining attorney is going to issue what's called an office action that is going to preliminarily deny your application for one reason or another. And then you're going to have to overcome that office action, and you've got 3 months to do that before it can move forward to the publication stage, in which case somebody could oppose your trademark application. But if it gets through that, then it will finally get registered. So there's a lot of ways that your trademark application can actually fall through along the process. So for those of you out there that are interested in getting a trademark but aren't quite sure about the process or how to do it, I want to share with you today 4 ways that you can actually go about this process. And hopefully there won't be too many car honking horns out there, because it sounds to be like a honky day today. It's a little gray out. It's weird for Lisbon. Lisbon is normally very sunny all the time. I'm supposed to go meet somebody near the beach today for lunch. I was hoping for a nice breezy, sunny, nice day, which is like every day here, except today it's like cloudy and rainy. Yuck. The first way to file your trademark application is probably the easiest, and it's what I would say most people probably do, and that is they do it themselves. They look for videos like from my channel. They maybe go online and try and find some blog post that talks about how to file a trademark application, or maybe they just go to the trademark office website themselves and try and figure it out. And they try to come up with the right answers to all the questions that are asked in the trademark application. They try and cobble together a description for their trademark. They do a cursory search to see if anyone is using a name that is similar to theirs or even a direct match to theirs, because what I've seen a lot of people do when they do this on their own is they just are looking for a direct match name, not realizing that the standard is actually not direct match, it's likelihood of confusion. I've done videos on that, so I'm not going to go into that here. But so this is what a lot of people do. They think, well, we're going to go ahead and do this, and they cobble together a description, they pick a class, they're not sure if they're doing it correctly, and they pay the fees, and that's it. Then they wait, and eventually, potentially, probably, they will get some form of office action. They won't know what to do with it, and then they end up abandoning their application. I can't tell you how many applications I've looked at that were filed by people who represented themselves, and then they just gave up because they got an office action and they did not know how to deal with it. Or conversely, they file this application on their own and then they kind of give up on their business, forget they filed the application, and then it just gets abandoned. So for whatever reason, the DIY option is definitely there. It's free with the exception of the filing fees that you have to pay to the trademark office. But in my experience, it usually does not result in a registration. You're far less likely to get a registration if you do it yourself than you would be if you use a service or an attorney, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. And in addition, even if you do get that registration, there can still be issues with that registration that make it difficult to enforce your trademark rights. Yeah, and I've talked about mistakes people make when filing their own trademark applications on other videos. So again, I'm not going to get into that here today. So that's the first way to do your trademark application, is to DIY it. I don't recommend that, but it is an option. Option number 2 is to use a trademark filing service. Now, you may have seen these out there. I'm not going to include any names. What I will say is there are these services that offer trademark filing for a fee. And typically you're paying somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 to $200. With upsells, it could be more. And basically what you're doing is you're providing the same information that you would fill out on your own trademark application, but you're doing it in a nice, tidy, clean, neat form for this service, who is then going to take that exact same information that you've just filled into their form, and they're going to put it into, usually automatically, into a trademark application, and they're going to go ahead and submit that trademark application for you. What you need to know about this is, number 1, unless they tell you otherwise, you're probably not getting a lawyer to look over your application. Now, some of them may have a lawyer that kind of just reviews the application so that they can market it as, hey, this is lawyer reviewed, but they're really not doing much more than that. They're just looking to make sure the application is filled out correctly and nothing is getting missed, and then they are submitting the application for you. So that's the first thing you need to be aware of with this type of service, is that chances are you're not getting a lawyer to look it over in a way that's going to be meaningful to you. The other thing you need to be aware of is you're not getting any assistance in how to draft the description properly. You're not getting any assistance as far as whether or not your name is even available. They may tell you they're going to do a direct hit search, but they're actually, that's all they're doing is a direct hit search. They're not doing a comprehensive trademark search. I mean, frankly, for that amount of money, they really can't, because it's cost prohibitive to do a search like that and have a lawyer draft a legal opinion letter for you. For $50, it's just not going to happen. So you need to be aware of what you're actually signing up for. If you do decide to use a service like this, I strongly recommend that you read the fine print, you read the terms of service, you figure out whether you're hiring a lawyer, which you're probably not, or if you're just hiring the service to basically fill out the application for you. And if that's the case, they're not legally allowed to give you any advice or guidance on whether or not you have a good chance of getting your trademark registered or not. They may have some computer algorithms that are providing you with some information that might be helpful to you. But again, those are just computers, they're not people, and they're certainly not lawyers. So you need to be careful about that. So that's the second option. You can use a trademark filing service. It is a low-cost option, but frankly, if you're going to use that type of service with very limited, if any, legal advice from a lawyer, you might as well just do it on your own, because it's free if you do it on your own. And this all you're really paying for is a souped up application in this situation. Now, I will say for upsells, they may try and upsell you to a lawyer assisted application. And again, I would check the fine print to see what that lawyer is actually doing for you. At this point, you're probably going to be paying upwards of $400 or $500. And if you're going to be paying that much, you probably could get a lawyer to assist you with your application who you actually know and can have contact with anyway. So that's the second option, is a trademark filing service. And before we get to the third option, I need to take a quick coffee break. I've got my nice Portuguese mug today. I figured this is appropriate since I'm meeting somebody who's visiting here in Portugal for lunch today. It would be nice to do my Portuguese mug. Well, honestly, it's my favorite mug anyway, so cheers. Option number 3 is to use a trademark course. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with the DIY option. However, in this situation, you actually are paying for a course that's going to help to walk you through the entire process. Do I think you should do this? It depends. I think it really depends on how long you've been using your trademark, how comfortable you are doing this yourself, and how amenable you are to learning the information and really digesting and understanding the information in the course. So this is a great option for people who want to do it themselves, but they really want to understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, and figure out the ins and outs of the trademark process. For those of you that have the time and really want to understand what you're doing, a course could be an option. In terms of what courses are out there, I will give a plug right here for my OB Foundations Mastermind group. It's a monthly program, and as part of that monthly program, you get access to my Lock It Down Legal Toolkit, which includes a module on how to file your own trademark application. So there'll be a link to that down below. You can certainly check that out. We also have weekly coaching calls to talk about what's going on with your business and help you get things set up and get things moving so that you can actually make some money online, because that's what we all want here from the online business world. That is one option. I'm also going to be, after I finish my book, I'm going to be developing a second, more comprehensive course for trademarks that will also go into that Lock It Down Legal Toolkit and will be available to all the members in that community. So definitely something you want to check out. So that's the third option, is to use a course to help you file the trademark application correctly. Now, a couple things you need to know about the course also is you should make sure that the course includes some sort of information or tutorial on how to conduct a proper trademark search, because that's one of the most important things you're going to have to do for your trademark application, is make sure you've done a search. The other thing that the course must have, if it doesn't include a module on how to do a search, it should include references or resources for other vendors that you can hire to conduct a proper search for you and then evaluate those search results. So that's what I would really look out for with a course, is make sure that those things are included. So yeah, that's a course. Again, link down below to my membership community. Which brings us to number 4. Number 4 is to hire a lawyer. It would be easy for me to say that hiring a lawyer is the smart choice. Just go out there and find a lawyer that works for you. But I also want to let you know that there are different types of lawyers. There are low-cost lawyers, and there are expensive, high-priced corporate lawyers, and there's everything in between. So I want you to understand that when you're paying for a discount law firm to do your trademark application, again, you need to look at the fine print when you hire them. What are they actually providing? Are they doing a search? Some places, they'll file your trademark application and they won't even do a search, and they make sure that you basically disclaim any responsibility for that when you hire them. So you could hire a law firm to do that. You could hire a law firm to just respond to an office action. If you get an office action, you could hire a law firm to do a search and file your application and respond to office actions. So there's all sorts of things that you can hire a law firm to do. The lower price you're paying for the law firm that you hire for your trademark, the more likely it is that they're using the services of either overseas people or paralegals to do a lot of the work for them. And then the lawyer is just kind of looking through the application at the end. So it's almost similar to a trademark filing service in that regard, except you are hiring a law firm. So the lawyer is actually going to be culpable if something does go wrong. The more you're paying for the law firm, the more attention you're going to get, the more access you're going to get to a lawyer who's going to be able to help you and talk with you and schedule calls with you and chat with you over instant message and different things like that. So you definitely want to look at that. Some of the things that you should be asking the lawyer if you do decide to hire a lawyer is, are they charging hourly or flat fee? How many classes are included if it is a flat fee? You should be asking about how many applications they've filed this year. You should be asking, what percentage of their practice is devoted to trademark work and other things like that. So you really want to pay attention to the lawyer you're hiring. Look to see if they have reviews online. You know how to do all this stuff. I'm probably not, if you're watching this video, chances are this is not your first rodeo and you know how to find help online. You know how to research people and make sure they're doing the right thing for you. So I'll leave it at that. The higher price the law firm is, then the more likely it is they're helping corporate clients that are sending them, tens of hundreds of trademark searches a month. And the more work they do for a single client, the more likely it is that they're going to be actually charging by an hourly rate as opposed to a flat fee. Flat fees are great for people that have 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 trademarks they want to get filed. But once you start getting more than that, then an hourly rate is going to make more sense, because there's going to be economies of scale at work when you have more trademarks from one client, because all the information is going to be relatively similar, and it's just a matter of doing that work to make sure each application is handled properly. Don't forget to check out this video right here that talks about more of the mistakes I see people making when filing their own trademark applications. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you very soon and see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.